Ready? Oh, on live. Are you tired of the same old sports media? Are you tired of hot takes, arguments, and questions that are just completely off base?
Luckily, we have something for you. Touchdowns and tangents of the people, for the people, by people who care about the culture and all its concise commentary.
What's up, good people? It's PD Camarillo here. Touchdowns and Tangents. TD_tangents on Twitter and Instagram. Touchdownsandtangents.com. Live from Hawthorne, California. Of course, as always, the other half, Touchdowns and Tangents. That was your weakest intro of all fucking 400 episodes.
I was trying to be humble, but Kenneth Berry.
Shout out to Nikki. She should be joining us shortly. But with that,
Newly married, by the way. Round of applause.
newly married Nikki. Round of applause. See if I can find it. Yeah, man. We're actually on time this week. Not a whole lot to talk to, but just some stuff to talk through about the draft, college football stuff, never-ending rumors, etc. So, should be a quick and jam-packed show, all things considered. But, yeah, Kenny, what's the first thing you want to talk about?
For starters, what a draft, right?
Day 2 and 3.
Like, it feels like everybody won their draft except the Raiders.
Somehow the Raiders walked away from the draft with no quarterbacks. And, yeah,
No
they
D tackles.
They signed fucking Gus Bradley's son out of South Alabama, which
He was a camp arm. He's a camp arm.
glorified camp arm.
No, he's definitely a camp arm.
Glorified camp arm. I wouldn't even call him a camp arm.
He's a rookie Manny camp arm. He's a
I
rookie.
wouldn't even call him a camp arm.
He's a rookie training camp arm.
But yeah, they signed him. Passed on Spencer Rattler. Passed on Joe Milton.
I was not okay with that.
Shoot, even passed on Jordan Travis.
I'm okay with that. Jordan Travis, I was never really impressed.
I think he went to a good spot in New York, though.
The Jets.
All the Jets reporters were interviewing him at the Shrine Bowl.
I'm unimpressed.
We'll see.
I'm just unimpressed.
We'll see.
I'm just unimpressed by Florida State QBs. Like, historically unimpressed. Like, historically, history tells me don't trust a Florida State quarterback, so I don't. Jameis was the only one.
Other takeaways from rounds 2 through 7?
The Eagles won. The Eagles keep winning. Why do we keep letting them do this to everybody? Why do we let them pay all their players and draft like the best available? Why do y'all not just take the best available player and figure it out? Why do you always got to take a guy to fit your scheme and then you end up cutting him in like 6 months? Like, the Eagles literally can swap out Darius Slay and James Bradbury at the end of the season and be fine as a defense. I want y'all to think about that.
Another pick that I think we both really liked was Peyton Willis going to the
Steelers.
Yeah, the third round.
That might be the best front seven in
the
football.
Late third round.
98th overall to be exact. Raiders were at 112. They could have traded back from 77, but they took that tackle from Maryland who wasn't even supposed to go that high. But, hey. 6'4", he can play tackle, but we'll probably slide him to guard. You know, dumb shit like that. It's just...
The Rams got a steal in Brandon Fisk in the second round. Another pick you also liked?
The Rams might have had the best pick in the entire draft. They got stronger at every position with every pick. They got Bo Zimmer in the late rounds. Dude had a 37-inch vertical.
My whole thing about the Raiders draft is like a lot of these
39 bench press
teams,
reps.
you can see what they're building. Like with the Chargers, you could hate on their draft or whatever, but you see what they're building.
They're anti number one receiver.
You see what they're building.
They're pro running.
They got some receivers you can take a flyer on in the later rounds, with Brendan Weiss and Cornelius Johnson,
who went to Michigan.
Well, who have just enough speed to get open downfield, but otherwise, they're gonna run the rock.
They can run a route tree.
They got a bunch of linemen.
Ladd McConkey, who's definitely going to be a deep threat.
It's like the Titans. They got Tavondre Sweat at the top of the top of the second round. Like that's the sort of physical player that fits the Titans culture. It's like with the Raiders, or Brandon Fisk, a fucking super athletic dude who gets off the ball. Like that fits the Rams culture. But with the Raiders, it's like you don't know what the fuck they were doing.
The Oregon center, Jackson Powers Johnson, was their best pick. Their next best pick was Trey Taylor, who won the Thorpe Award out of Air Force. I talked to him last year at Midwest Media Day. 203rd overall pick. That was your best. That was your second best pick. Everybody else, people are like, oh, Brock Bowers is this and that. You don't take a tight end who can't block an edge rusher who could be a Pro Bowler. Let's say Latu only has like 5 years on his knees or whatever because of his neck or whatever.
But even if he gets you
Jared Verse went all the way to 19. Mitchell, the corner out of Toledo, went all the way to 22. There is no excuse for you not to take Mitchell. You could have traded with, like, Bowers is going to fall where he's going to fall. Like, you can get a receiver. You don't need Bowers. Bowers doesn't make this offense 4 games better. But you know who can make this defense 4 games better? Latu. Or
even
Jared
if he gets
Verse.
60 sacks in those 4 years, like that's something.
That's production from a first rounder. Jared Verse, great player. High motor, incredibly fast, agile, scheme versatile. Like would have been perfect alongside Max Crosby. And then you factor in that Mitchell for the Eagles is probably going to be the starting nickel and may even beat out James Bradbury. Now he's one of the best corners in the draft, arguably the best corner. Because Wiggins went to the Ravens. So you got him going at 22. Wiggins went a little bit later for the Ravens at 30.
We already talked about the first round.
Well, like, you just think about it. They got Cooper DeJean in the second round. They got another corner later in the draft. They got Jeremiah Trotter Jr. in the later rounds. Who the Raiders took the Ohio State linebacker Tommy Eckenberg over Jeremiah Trotter Jr., even though Trotter Jr. has better tape and more athleticism.
All right, pause real quick. Nikki just hopped on the line.
Boomer Sooner.
Officially married.
Boomer Sooner.
Officially Mrs. Will.
Can y'all see me?
Yeah, you had to get a ring somewhere because we know you're not getting one for the Mavs.
Or the Cowboys.
Or the Thunder.
Or Oklahoma.
Yeah, I can see it.
Oklahoma's not winning the
beautiful.
SEC.
Like the
You're
cute
blinding
little
me.
Double band, so cute.
Damn, she said double band.
You're blinding me.
Crazy work.
But I did the motherfucking thing, y'all.
How does it feel now that
I'm a
now
married
that
woman
now that
so-
it's all behind you? Fucking 2-year buildup. Why the fuck are you in the Zoom, Kenny? We don't need you in the Zoom.
It was accidental. I'm sorry.
It's a long story, but my wedding day was definitely very interesting to say the least. But my honeymoon was the bomb.com. It was like the most fun week of my entire life. So, raw.
But do you feel like do you just wake up having like wedding planning nightmares? Like, is there like a big part of you missing now that that's not on the top of your to-do list every week?
Missing? No, more like relief, I guess. Finally,
You actually have time to hit the gym and play your games again, be yourself again.
Unfortunately, no, because I'm really busy at work, and I also have to like start figuring out how to move to Boston now. So I don't know. Like, I don't really have a break. It's just like more stuff is being thrown in instead of wedding planning, But it's all good. I'm gonna ride the honeymoon high for a little bit at least, enjoy myself before I get back into it.
Speaking of getting back into the draft, how do you feel about your Patriots draft? First, start with the number one pick, and then just overall, how do you think you guys did?
Overall, well, it's a really weird. It's a really weird feeling to actually see players get drafted to the Patriots. Like it's very foreign. I don't think I was watching. Like I don't remember exactly what the statistic is, but I don't think I've seen in my lifetime Bill Belichick utilize a 15, like a 1 through 15 pick of the draft. Even like the last year when we sucked or whatever, he like traded it away and did some dumb bullshit with it, tried to get some Walmart cashiers or whatever. To actually like get a big name that like people have actually heard of in the draft was very interesting. Drake May being that name, I mean, definitely fits the Patriots archetype. I don't want to talk crap yet because I need to actually. I haven't seen enough of him to give like how do you say like an NFL stamp of approval or not. But
Not familiar with this game.
He in Bill Belichick's words, he is really bad in the pocket. But like, of course, Bill Belichick is going to think that because like that's his Bill Belichick archetype is to have these slow ass quarterbacks that sit in the pocket for 45 minutes. So I don't know. It's hard to take Bill Belichick's words seriously considering the way he built his offense. But no, I don't really. I feel like it's just a Mac Jones part 2, but we'll have. I don't know. We're gonna have to see. But for the rest of the draft, I think we did pretty good. I like most of our picks. Our fourth rounder has been talking a lot of mess for no reason, embarrassing everybody. But hopefully he can live up to the hype. But overall, I'm pretty happy about it.
All right, cool. Well, we were just kind of talking about rounds 2 through 7.
Jaheim Bell was a pretty good pickup for y'all in the 7th round. Little H-back action.
But yeah, so some other picks that I like in the 2nd round for me. Nikki's guy, Edgerrin Cooper to the Packers, 2nd round. I feel like that was good value. I feel like he fits what they like to do as far as being a versatile backer.
Plus he can rush the passer too.
I like what the Ravens did, getting Rosengarten in the tail end of the 2nd round. Got some versatility as a guard, tackle, physical. Got to get Lamar protection. Any other picks you want to highlight in the 2nd round, Kenny?
Kool-Aid McKinstry to the Saints.
Even though you were hating on Kool-Aid the whole draft process?
Nah, just hating on like they wouldn't say his real name, which is like Quincy or some shit.
I feel like there should be a...
It's QUI something, but like they call him Kool-Aid.
I feel like that should be in the AP style. Like when to call someone their birth-given nickname.
And like their real name, because we've been saying Kool-Aid McKinstry the whole draft process at the league. So it's like, it's weird.
All right, moving to the 3rd round. Your guy, Kalen Bullock, went to the Texans in the 3rd round.
One pick after the Raiders took the guard.
It's honestly a probably better spot for him, though.
Yeah, you got Jalen Petrie there as strong safety, and then Bullock can come in and play free. That's excellent. And he's 188, so he can play a little bit. He can play some nickel. He can come help and run support. You just got to put some weight on him and get him around healthier habits because USC's defense was very toxic. And let's just say now that he's not there anymore, you know, and rely on Kalen always make the play, and then you not do your job. So it looks like Kalen didn't do his job.
Your guy Marshawn Lynch in the 3rd, Marshawn Lloyd in the 3rd round of the Packers.
Perfect.
Even though they're loaded at running back,
somebody
still a good spot.
Somebody getting traded. If I'm Dallas, I'm calling for AJ Dillon.
I like Jalen McMillan to the Tampa Bay Bucks.
That's perfect.
Some people had an early 2nd round grade on him, so tail end of the 3rd.
When he's healthy, he's an NFL receiver, and he looks pretty healthy.
Luke McCaffrey at the end of the 3rd to the Commanders. Christian McCaffrey had a real emotional post about it, which was cool.
They're just trying to build, which is good.
And shout out to Tip Reedman, tight end out of Illinois. A lot of people didn't even have a draft grade on him. Went on the 3rd round. Saw him at the Shrine Bowl, rooting for him. He was real humble, real grateful that I even was like talking to him because no one wanted to talk to him. And then, yeah, man. Let's move on to the 4th round.
Jalen Wright going to the Dolphins is ridiculous. They already have 2 running backs who can hit home runs. I don't know, are they preparing for life after Mostert? Because you have Jalen Wright, Mostert, and A-Chain. That's not fair. And Taj Washington and Malik Washington in the slot.
Jatavion Sanders to the Panthers in the 4th round, the first pick.
He's a receiving tight end. He's not really fast, and he probably doesn't weigh 240, and he can't really block. He's really.
But there was a lot of people that had him as one of the top tight ends
until he ran a 4.69, and you realized, oh, he's mid. Either he plays like Jermichael Finley, which I doubt he does, because Jermichael Finley was a 1 of 1, or he's just a basic tight end who catch passes.
Your guy Isaac Guerrero to the Niners.
That's cheating. They already have enough
4th round.
Again, another guy that they took. The Raiders.
It's their culture.
He's just a good player.
And but that's not that, and he fits.
And he's
one
of the fastest players in the draft. He can run.
The Niners always take running backs. They've been taking running backs for 20 years, bro.
They just take good players. You take good players, and they fit. Think about it. They drafted Raheem Mostert.
Yeah, for sure.
Where's Mostert at now? Playing the best ball of his career in Miami. Remember when they had Mostert? They had like 3 running backs.
McKinnon.
And another dude.
Gaskin.
And another dude who was also fast.
Mitchell.
He went to the Bills, but they had another dude. Not Elijah Mitchell. Somebody else. I'm saying they just always have running backs. And if McCaffrey goes down and this dude is as good as advertised, you got a guy who's 6 feet 220 running a 4.33. He can take it to the house at any moment. Oh, and you got Ricky Pearsall at receiver in the 1st round.
White receiver.
Who runs a 4.4.
I liked the Texas Tech safety to the Cardinals in the 4th round.
You actually like the Big 12 defensive players. That's crazy to me.
No, but I just feel like he fits what they want to do as far as being
coverage-wise and range.
Yep. Some people had him going in the 1st round, which I didn't buy, but
you never take a Texas Tech player that high. Looking at a certain defensive tackle / defensive end for the Raiders.
5th round, Spencer Rattler to the Saints, which was crazy and dumbfounded me because they still have Jake Hayner there too. But whatever. You already talked about Jeremiah Trotter to the Eagles, Jr. Any other 5th round picks you want to highlight?
Kyrie Jackson was a great pickup for the Vikings. Cam Hart to the Chargers too.
Did he go in the 5th round? I don't think either of those guys went in the 5th round.
Didn't they go in this? I don't. Hart went in the later rounds.
Yeah, neither of those guys went in the 5th round.
Was it 4th or 6th? They go 6th? The last of the 6th, or were they into the 4th?
Oh, bro, you got a phone?
I thought you were looking. I thought you pulled it up.
I know, but I can only look so fast. I got to go pick by pick.
Just go NFL Draft 2024.
That's literally what I'm doing. You have to go pick by pick.
Go Draft Tracker.
That's where I'm at, idiot. You have to go pick by pick.
Go around, idiot. You can't read fast. You can't speed read, my guy. Xavier Thomas to the Cardinals. Boom. Cam Hart, Cam Hart went in the 5th round to the Chargers. Anthony Gould, the Oregon State receiver. I already talked about that. J.D. Bertrand. Chris Abrams drain out of Missouri actually shocked me that he fell this far.
Okay, you didn't find the other player that you were talking about, though.
Brennan Jackson, that was the one. And Jamari Thrash.
Where did Brennan
and
Jackson
Shao
go?
Smith.
You didn't say
Wade.
any of those players. You're just reading off the list now. You should have been doing that from the first time.
I said Kamara last week.
Gaslight me. Go ahead and gaslight me. How did you say that last week when we recorded before the second round of the draft? You're so full of it.
Oh, wait, that was an off-air conversation.
Yeah. Full of shit, man.
These names are in my head, though. The Washington State
More
corner.
full of shit than me after Pizza Fest.
You were... No, nobody was more full of shit than you.
Walter Roos to the Vikings at the top of the 6th round. Boomer. Sateo Lumea. I probably butchered his name.
Definitely. Probably.
Guard to the Seahawks out of Rialto. Shout out to Rialto. The fact that Darius Muasawa got drafted was crazy to me. Malik Washington, good spot in the Dolphins.
Really didn't like him. That's crazy.
You did? Mekhi Wingo to the Lions in the 6th. Dylan McMahon, a lot of people like to the Eagles.
That was a great pickup for the Lions. It was a 4.85. He could shoot gaps. Play all across the line.
Oh, shit. My boy Zion Lowe got drafted to the Falcons. He gonna be lit in there, bro. He gonna be lit, bro. I never seen someone rap so much bar for bar in the middle of practice till I watched him practice. Hopefully he can get healthy and get off the rock, though. But we'll see.
I'm glad Jaquan Jackson went to the Titans. He could probably win the special teams returner gig. Johnny Wilson going to the Eagles again is not fair. That's cheating. That's really cheating.
Kingston to the Niners.
That was a good pickup. They can store him and stash him and let him play. Tyler Davis to the Rams is cheating. Joe Milton to the Patriots isn't fair. And he specifically said he's not changing positions. Ever. Never, ever. Never, ever. Ever, never? Never, ever.
Moving to the 7th round, you already talked about Trey Taylor to the Raiders. Brandon Rice to the Chargers. Any other picks you want to highlight in the 7th?
Like I said, Trey Taylor was really the best pickup for the Raiders outside of the guard they took. Again, like Jaheim Bell to the Pats. I love that. They're going to use him in a multitude of different ways. I was kind of shocked Solomon Byrd got drafted before Taj. James Williams, the safety out of Miami.
I think they both went to good spots, though. Taj in Miami and
him to Houston.
Solo in Houston.
Yeah, but like James Williams staying at safety and going to the Titans, it's actually a perfect fit for him. He can play some linebacker, but he's really a safety. It's the coverage skills and mostly just like ball skills. Like when he intercepts a pass, like he feels like a natural defensive back more so than a linebacker. But he's big as hell like a linebacker, so he could be erasing tight ends early. Kind of not surprised. The Penn State corner lasting to the 7th round kind of shocked me. And George Halani not getting drafted out of Boise State. That broke the NFL. That broke the streak of Boise State players getting drafted.
There was a few running backs that got drafted that can contribute.
Monty Bailey didn't get drafted, right?
Yeah, he didn't get drafted, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he'll be solid. I think
Boise
he caught
State?
on with one of the Chargers, I want to say. Something like that.
Boise State broke like a 20-year draft run. They always had somebody drafted. It's like a 20-year record. It's crazy. Well, Halani will find a team. He'll probably end up on the Patriots, make it a huge 3rd down play, or he'll end up on the Cowboys or some weird shit like that. My high school teammate actually coached him coming up. Like my starting running back on our team, Crawford Wilkinson. Him and his dad coached George Halani coming up. And I was like, damn, it's a small world. 6 degrees of separation, for real.
Anything else you want to say about the draft before we talk a little bit more about undrafted free agents?
No, that's about it.
Nikki, you want to add anything about the draft? You want to shout out any of your Aggies or Sooners that got drafted?
Shout out to the Falcons for making the worst draft decision I've ever seen in my entire life.
Are you mad because the Patriots didn't take them?
If the Patriots would have traded back or passed on Drake May, then the Raiders probably could have got Michael Penix, but it's fine.
Can we be fair? That was a genius. That was a genius draft move. We're just mad that Michael Penix isn't on our teams collectively. Like if Michael Penix was on the Patriots, they might have a Boston Tea Party level revolt or race riot.
I don't care what anyone says. I get how it can divide the locker room or whatever. I get that you needed other shit. I get that there's, more. There were other players with a shorter path to the field than Michael Penix. But at the end of the day,
you needed
quarterback's a premium position.
And he ran a 4.46.
You can always get a first or a second round pick for Kirk Cousins. Or if for some reason he beats out Michael Penix, guess what? You can just shop Michael Penix later. Trey Lance went for a fucking second round pick, for Christ's sake. And barely played.
You can trade Kirk in 2 years when his contract is done.
That's an ideal situation. And the other thing is in this ideal situation where Kirk plays, ideally you're getting deep in the playoffs. You're going to the Super Bowl. So you're not picking in the top 10 again. You're not going to get another Michael Penix in 2 years. So you like the player, you like the prospect. Even if you don't like the pick, the exact number 8 pick, you go out and make it. Because I promise you he wasn't going to make it past 11. Michael Penix was not going to make it past Minnesota, Denver, or the Raiders. So as much as people can say, "Oh, it was
knowing the Raiders, he would have made it. He would have
round.
made it to the Colts. Knowing the Raiders, he would have made it all the way down to the Seahawks. I think if Penix is there and Bowers is there, they still take Bowers. I'm convinced they didn't want a quarterback at all in this draft. You just don't pay Gardner Minshew that much money.
All right, moving on. Undrafted free agents. Your guy, Keaton Slovis, to the Colts. That's crazy. I just saw that.
It's not really my guy, but okay.
I know. It was condescending.
Condescending as hell. He was at 3 schools since then.
Blake Watson to the Broncos.
He didn't get drafted?
Nope.
That's shocking.
Jack Plummer to the Panthers.
Where'd Jack Zerman go?
Frank Gore Jr. to the Bills is actually a perfect spot for him.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. I'm rooting for him.
Goal line back.
Who else?
Tua's little brother.
Oh, Amani Bailey and Carson Steele went to the Chiefs. Sheesh.
Tua's little brother, I think, went to the Commanders.
I actually like some of the undrafted free agents the Raiders got, like Andrew Coker.
Ron Stone Jr. is good. They got some linemen I liked. But still, they have 8 corners. They went from having 8 D tackles to 8 corners. It's like, okay, you're going to have to get rid of a lot
Chargers
of Chargers
signed a shit ton of undrafted free agents as well.
Chargers got all.
Rams did too.
Sam Hartman got the richest deal for an undrafted free agent.
Rams got Omar Speeds for nothing, which I feel like is a good fit for him. Gabriel Murphy to the Vikings went undrafted. UCLA pass rusher. Yep, that's a good spot for him.
For sure. He'll be Dallas Turner's backup.
Dallin Hoker went undrafted, huh? Wasn't expecting that. Of course, he went to the fucking Saints. That makes too much damn sense. You gonna look, he had 30 catches from Carr, too.
And 2 touchdowns?
Yeah. Why is that so realistic? And he's gonna fuck up someone's fantasy season.
I mean, Jawan Johnson did all year.
Rode Torrance to the Seahawks out of ASU. He needs some work, but he's got an NFL body speed. Dylan Johnson at the Titans. That's pretty much it. All right, Kenny, final words on the 2024 NFL draft. It's come to an end. Final Pac-12 draft.
Ever.
What do you think?
Pac-12 had almost more people drafted than anybody. It's a shame that the adults in the room couldn't act like the adults in the room and keep this conference going. And now they've ruined the path of college football forever. because the Pac-12 no longer exists because people couldn't get their head out their ass. It's really sad.
All right. One more thing on the draft. Keon Coleman. Why don't you go ahead and talk about that a little bit? The whole Keon Coleman.
Okay. Well, the dude is hilarious. Really down to earth. He actually was at Michigan State first, and then he transferred to Florida State. So when he talked about getting his summer coat, his winter coat in the summertime, it was some gems. It was just some real good gems. He definitely wanted to get to the snacks ASAP. And seems like a perfect fit for. I see why they drafted him. It just makes too much sense. Team guy, gonna come in and run the offense. It's Josh's team.
Did you see the Jets first round pick? The way the mom was boxing out the girlfriend?
That's what you're supposed to do. I'm of opinion, I wouldn't. If you're the girlfriend, why are you even sitting there? Is he gonna get you pregnant? Like, are you a wife?
That's what she's hoping for.
Then go sit your ass.
Go stand your ass in the background.
First off, I'm not even gonna talk about all the Nigerian dudes with white girlfriends.
Let's
that
break
joke
that down.
is too easy.
Let's break that down.
That joke's too easy.
Let's break that down.
All these black dudes with white girlfriends at the draft, it's just too easy. I just want to say,
you're getting drafted. Where does your girlfriend sit? Is she next to you?
Away from the camera. She's not even
you?
in the side of the camera. She's in the back, making a plate of food in the kitchen.
What if you really love her?
That you're talking about? There's like a longer version of the video.
Yeah,
the one with the mom, right?
Yeah,
with the mom.
What happened to the
longer version? Mom blocking
out,
out,
where she stands up with the girlfriend and bear hugs both her and her son at the same time and pushes them close to each other.
That's we're talking about initial draft reactions. We're talking about initial draft reactions. Nobody cares about the rest of the video. They only care about the first 10 to 15 seconds.
She dropped that hand real quick. She was holding her hand, and then she just dropped it.
Context.
No, nobody just cares. Like, if you're not the wife, why the fuck are you in the picture? Why are you in the frame like that?
All right, Nikki.
Go sit down.
Nikki, you're getting drafted.
So if Will was getting drafted 3 months ago before I married him, should I not be sitting next to him as his fiance and girlfriend of over 6 years?
Y'all family situation is totally different. And there's no draft for doctors. Nobody gives a shit about a doctor draft.
That's an interesting question. Would he be in between his mom and dad, or his mom and dad on the left and you're on the right?
You should be on the same couch.
That's what I'm asking you. So am I not important enough to Will 3 months ago to sit next to him on the couch?
Will's not an NFL player, though. You can't compare that to being a doctor. It's different. Like, when he's getting his coat.
Will was an athlete. If Will was an athlete, and
you shouldn't be in the frame like that. Like,
that's actually crazy.
I mean, like,
that's the craziest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
The first person I would want to hug is my mom. I'm gonna be honest. Like, because she got me here.
I know Will better than anyone on this planet, and you don't think I deserve to be sitting on the couch with him?
I'm just saying, the same couch, but like, they're not paying to see you play football. They're paying to see him play football.
2 seconds ago, you said not even in the picture.
You did say
the initial picture, yes. Now, when you zoom out, you're there.
I think you should just let people love each other, bro. Let people be happy. Damn.
No, like, that's cool, be happy, but like, I just know how I was raised. Like, if you're not really the wife like that, like, you gotta fall back, especially. Look what happened with Will Levis's ex-girlfriend. She got famous off him.
I think it's
where's she at now?
I think the context of it too is that we've seen this play out over the years, and 7 times out of 10, the girl that you're drafted with is not the girl you end up signing.
Exactly, it's a kiss of death. Like, y'all should be nowhere near each other.
Y'all just coming off with weird vibes. Is all I'm saying. So.
No, it's not. It's definitely not. Go back and look at all the dudes who got drafted. They're not with that same.
I wouldn't say you can't be in the frame.
You should be in the room.
You
should be close enough to where you're in the shot, but like,
nah, you're retracting because you said they shouldn't even be in the shot.
Okay, no. Okay.
Let me talk.
Like
let me talk.
The full shot.
You already talked.
Because I stand on what I said.
I don't know. Do you? Because you keep backing up.
I'm saying if it's a minute-long video, if it's a minute-long draft reaction, yes, you can be in the shot. But you shouldn't be the first person I fucking see when we go shoot to his reaction. Anyways. I want to see his mother and his father.
I mean, that's more of an editorial decision on behalf of the whoever's.
But I'm saying, but if the family's setting it up like that, well, then it should go player, parents, siblings, significant other, then everybody else.
I mean, that's just
some of these uncles should have sat their ass down.
That's just how you break it down, because I mean, you've been single over the better part of your adulthood, so relationships what the fuck not that high.
No, that's just in general. Priority. That's just in general. I got the back of the people in my family more than I do strangers.
But that's you.
Seating order up to the people who actually are boyfriend, girlfriend.
Some people, yeah, but you're an NFL player. You're the breadwinner. Nobody's coming to see my girlfriend. I mean, they're coming to fucking see me. I mean, because I'm the 13th overall pick in the draft.
I mean, it doesn't
or 10th overall pick in the draft.
It doesn't even have to be.
They're not coming to see anyone else, bro. Let the order of the
they coming to see somebody's mom.
Determined by the individuals who are sitting on said couch.
Like if that's what they want, that's cool.
Can you let
how about you stop cutting me in when she just asked me a question? How about that?
All right, go ahead, Kenny. Say the same thing you've been saying for fucking 7 minutes.
Cool, and then I'm gonna be quiet.
Let's see.
Bottom line is, if the family wants to have their own setup and that's how they want to go, that's cool. But for me, like, it's just not a good idea to put your girlfriend out there front and center. And then in 3 years, we're like, hey, what happened to your girlfriend? Oh, her? I was like 3 girlfriends ago. Like, what? Like, maybe you shouldn't do that to your situation. Like, because, I mean, if you watch the show The Game, it shows you what happens to an athlete when they get money and they get bread and big-headed. And shit falls apart. Maybe, I'm just saying, either protect your significant other and not let them be in the shot, or, I don't know, have some clear guidelines, because some of them shits, like the girlfriend was really trying to get in and be, like, you know, get a hug. And in other cases, we can go back to Isaiah Wilson, where his mom yanked his girlfriend off the fucking couch, and that dude's not in the NFL anymore. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know what that had to do.
I think I agree with you to a point. It's the same vibe as where, like, if you're a new significant other and you go to like a Christmas dinner, like, you definitely like let them take a family photo without you in it. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to break up and then the photo gets ruined in the future vibe. But if they're together long enough, like, they're like, for me, right? For my example, like, when me and Will first started dating, like, I wasn't in the photos, but over time I became a member that was like wanted to be in said photos over the years. And so, like, now it would be weird if I don't take the pictures with them. So we don't know where those women are on that timeline. You know what I mean? So I feel like we just got to let them do what they want to do, you know?
At the end of the day, it doesn't even have to be a draft. It can be a graduation. It can be any sort of kind of life-changing event where you only have a certain amount of tickets and you kind of have to prioritize who you really want to be there. And I think for some people, yeah, it might be your mom and your dad and your siblings, but for other people, it might really be the significant other, high school sweetheart, the girl who was making you fucking chop fruit after your third workout every day. Like, so again, like, you know, it varies from case to case, but ultimately, I think ideally it should be your parents kind of on either side of you if you have that sort of structure. And then the girlfriend, she's within reach. You know, she's around, but she doesn't have to be front and center. She doesn't have to be right next to me or in the shot, because it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, who's sacrificed more than your parents? If your parents have been there for you to get you there, who paid for all the training and the coaches and took you there? They did. So I think at the very least, it should be the parents' first refusal. Like, it should be the mom who's like, no, honey, you sit next to him. Or like, you know, the dad says, okay, I don't really want to be in the camera like that. She can tap my spot on the couch next to him or whatever. But ultimately, like, yeah, it should come down to the player, but it's not even just the player. Because, I mean, really, that day is more for everyone else than it is the player. The player just wants to know where the fuck he's going and get to work. The family's the one who wants to celebrate and have a party and fuck around, like be seen. So
those are points I can definitely agree with. I think if you ain't been in the picture at least a year, why are you in the shot? You ain't been around a calendar year. Even with the
I agree with that
WNBA
too.
draft, you ain't been around for like a year.
Yeah,
You
I agree with that
shouldn't.
too.
You
If
need to
if
like.
it's been less than like a year, like if you haven't been through all 4 seasons with that individual, definitely not.
If y'all ain't share birthday presents, like why are you in the shot? You're just Will Levis's ex girlfriend at that point.
all right, moving on, college football.
So talked about it a couple weeks ago. I'm gonna play some audio from the post game presser for USC spring game because it's a whole new era now. Caleb's gone. They had like 8 dudes drafted off that team, and then the Reggie Bush news hit. So it was a lot going on. But in regards to the USC spring game, the defense definitely looks better. The DBs definitely look better. The DBs look like the strength of the team. The pass rush, I don't know yet. They said a couple guys' names. I gotta wait to see because that linebacking core still confuses me. How you don't have Eric Gentry rushing the passer because that's where NFL teams are gonna put him. I'm not putting a linebacker who's 6'6", 220, like who can't really handle being in the trenches like that. Like that dude should be an edge rusher. But hey, so hopefully this works because I'm about to play the sound. It'll be synced up.
Oh yeah, Papa hit a 5-leg. Let's go.
Miller, obviously, huge bowl game win. Team rallies around you. Everybody says like you're the guy. What was the feeling compared to past spring games coming into this one?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, spring game environment. I don't think it's. I think in terms of the leadership role, obviously.
So Miller Moss had a Lincoln pretty much came out and said if we had to play a game tomorrow, Miller's our starter. Jaden Miles, newcomer from UNLV and also Georgia, had a pretty good spring game. There's some things about his game that it's like you need to sit for a year. You're not really ready yet. But like there are also limitations that you can see with Miller that Jaden doesn't have. But Jaden doesn't really have the decision making or the accuracy yet. But he is like mobile. Like he can take off and run, but I think this is Miller's offense to run. The receivers are nice. The O line, I think the O line is going to take a drastic step forward with Elijah Page, guys that they have at left and right tackle. The interior of the line is the strength of it because you got Pregnon who's back for his senior year. Jonah, I'm totally spacing out on the right guard's name, but he's really good too. Jonah's a starting center now. So I'm just gonna play. How much faster have you gotten? Shit. How much faster have you gotten? Zach, how much faster have you gotten this offseason? Obviously, you talk about faster around like a 4.3. Are you on the 4.2s now? And what's individual, aspect of your game that you've improved the most on?
I definitely have got a little bit faster. I feel like we had put a catapult on me in track. I hit like 23 miles per hour. That was my first time. So I was proud of that. And I feel like the big roll into a different coverage. So I feel like that'll just make my game evolve a little bit better. Just like
I left that in. Hey, I had to just put that last part. I just had to see your facial expression when you heard his voice, Pete. I had to get that one in. Zachariah Branch, who pretty much is like the first USC freshman to ever like win like a freshman of the year type of award as far like a AP All-American as a freshman. What he did as a special teamer, kick returner, punt returner, and catching a couple touchdowns on offense. He said the fastest he ever ran last year, I think it was like 4.37. And now he's running 23 miles an hour. For everybody who didn't understand why Marvin Harrison Jr. didn't run, nowadays they put these little trackers inside your shoulder pads. They know everything about you. They know your heart rate. They know how fast you ran, what your top speed was that day. So running 23 miles an hour when like the fastest person in the draft this year, Xavier Worthy, ran almost 25 miles an hour, a 4.21. He ran like 24.97 miles an hour or something like that. And, you know, he's running 23 miles an hour as a freshman. I mean, as a sophomore. They're getting ready for a sophomore year because he ran track. I think USC is going to have a very explosive offense. They're young. Kyle Ford came back. He pretty much laughed it off and said, I was tripping. I'm sorry. He hopped on the portal, went to UCLA, then hopped back in the portal and went back to USC. He's back at USC for his final year. And honestly, they need that veteran leadership. He's literally the only senior left. Taj is gone. Mario Williams went to Tulane. Brendan Rice is gone. So it's him. They don't really have much of a tight end situation going on. But they got receivers. They're about 4 deep at receiver. So that's going to be really interesting to see what the offense does. But yeah, the defense was better. So we got media day coming up in, I think, July. So the next 2 months should be interesting. And I think they got another transfer, too. We'll see who picks up Kamani McLean because a lot of guys are leaving Colorado, and then they're getting shitted on by Shedeur Sanders, and people are saying that's going to tank his draft stock because that's really unprofessional to do because your daddy's playing favorites, and you're ruining the draft stock of a former 5-star Kamani McLean. They're treating this kid like he fucking murdered a liquor store full of people. He just didn't work out with Dion. Okay, you can say he didn't go to classes. Maybe he didn't like Colorado. Maybe he really fucking hated Colorado. Maybe he got some bad advice. Maybe he should have just went to Miami. But, like, you can't say, oh, he's a 5-star, he has NFL talent. And because he's not on your team anymore, you shit on him and say, oh, he was a problem child, he was this and that. That's the bitch-made behavior I don't like from college coaches. And Dion exhibits a lot of that. So, yeah, it's like Dylan Edwards was hyped up as a savior. He had one good game against TCU. And he's gone. A bunch of backups are gone. Like, and don't get me wrong, Georgia lost like half their recruiting class and replaced them already. Like 48% of their roster left this offseason. That's what nobody's talking about. They lost 48% of their roster in transfers in the recruiting class. So it happens to everyone. But with Colorado and Dion, you don't get to do shit like this, and you only won like 3 or 4 games last year, my boy. Y'all were terrible. Y'all weren't good. And now, like, you're ruining kids' chance at a future in football. Oh, because I'm Deion Sanders. I was a Hall of Fame corner, so I must know how to coach DBs. But none of your DBs have been drafted except like one. And even Shiloh not getting drafted, most likely. He too little, and he not fast enough. But, hey. And then recently, Deion's daughter left to go back to an HBCU. She went to Alabama and A&M. And her and her mother, Pilar Sanders, who has beef with Deion, first wife, they got beef. And Shiloh is the oldest. He's the second oldest. He's the son of Pilar. So he understands Deion in ways that Shedeur didn't, because Shedeur only knows Deion. So she's like, pretty much once they knew I was Deion's daughter, he would just come out and make statements about my recruitment, and then certain schools would stop recruiting me. I never really got a chance to recruit. He was like, children are supposed to follow their parents, not the other way around. That's why when I chose schools, my kids came with me to the schools. She went to Jackson State and then left to go to Colorado, got no burn. Now she's going back to Alabama and A&M. Hopefully she has a basketball career for herself. And I think it's also really narcissistic that all your kids sound like a variation of your first name. That's just weird to me. Or it's a variation of Sanders. I just think it's weird that like all your kids have a variation off your name. But whatever.
That is some crazy hater shit, bro. I'm full on there with you, but that's crazy.
Okay, Shador, Shalomi, Shador. Like, you couldn't name one of them Derek? The fuck? Brendan Rice, Jerry Rice Jr. You can't have two juniors. People be trying that shit, too. Deion just hasn't, like, out of Jackson State, there's been no real success as a head coach as far as on-the-field wins and success. So, yeah, he's hating. And then there's whole cases where he sent his assistant coaches back to Jackson State to steal talent. That's still going on. So, I mean, am I hating or am I just hating the hater?
All right, you guys ready? Touchdown or turnover? Sorry, I was just looking at my fucking locks. I hit on like 5 parlays a day. Fucking him. Heat lock.
Okay.
He has a gambling issue. Call the hotline, Pete.
If anyone needs promo codes, I got you.
Yes.
I got like 20 different apps.
That's a sick man, bro. You can't just say that.
Got like literally 20
You talking like you
apps.
got fucking Lucy's in your pocket. Like
I got
you
like
selling Lucy's
20 different fucking
like you selling
apps, bro.
fucking squares outside the liquor store, bro.
I can literally rate all the fucking pick'em apps.
You're sounding like you have dime
bags
bags on you like it's a fucking episode.
Bro, because these apps be giving away free money, so you got to be on all of them so you get the free money and then turn that into real money.
This sounds like an episode of Sesame Street.
Bro,
when Ernie bought an eighth.
What are those teleprompter things where it's like, if you have a problem with gambling?
Call this hotline.
I don't know
if
I have a problem, but I'm definitely up till fucking 2 a.m. putting locks in.
Irrational stress.
I wake up at 6, 7, put locks in, and then I check again at 1, and then usually again at 3. So
your whole team over here.
Spending at least 2 hours on parlays
It's
a
wild.
day.
It's wild.
Most of it, I don't have a problem, but, and then begins to describe his terrible
The details of the problem, exactly. I don't have a flesh-eating bacteria, but my left eye does have a mind of its own now.
Yeah, well, I'm up fucking $200 this week, so fuck me.
But
you know the announcer's curse is real, right?
What were you saying?
The announcer's curse is real, Pete.
All
right, take her tangent. Go ahead, Nikki.
Take her tangent. Let's see. 4-time Super Bowl champ Bill Romanowski files for bankruptcy, and apparently he owes millions in dollars of taxes.
Can I go first?
Go ahead.
Fuck Bill Romanowski. Good, I'm glad. The government's spitting on him now. Congratulations. Now you know how it feels to be spat on, bitch. Fuck Bill Romanowski.
Shout out to Balco. Shout out to Balco.
Shout out to Marcus Williams.
Go ahead. Next one.
And JJ Stokes.
All right. Patriots 4th round pick. I don't know if it's Javon Baker thinks he's already a top 10 receiver in the NFL. Basically said all these receivers are trash and he's top 10.
It was funny because Matthew Judon came and said, don't talk all this cash online, and then when you come in the facility, you got your head down and a hoodie on, not scared to talk to people. Like, if you're going to be that braggadocious, you better be that braggadocious in practice around the guys, around everybody. You better keep that same energy. And Rook didn't want to really keep that same energy.
That's
I'm
why I
not surprised.
fucking love Matthew Judon. He my goat for real.
Who'd you get him from? Your goat is a former Raven. That's crazy.
Okay.
That would be like the Raiders' GOAT being Tom Brady. Like, that's kind of sick. Like, that's fucked up. Like, he owns your franchise, technically, now that he's your GOAT.
No comment. Anyway.
I think at some point, you gotta believe in yourself like that, especially as a 4th round pick. Like, I'd rather have a guy come out talking like that than a guy who's just spitting out coach speak and is unsure of himself. Especially as a 4th rounder, like you're gonna have to earn every snap. You need that attitude. All right, next one.
Fair enough. Texans Dell was released from the hospital with a minor gunshot wound and nothing else.
Honestly, when I saw this shit, I thought it was a joke. I still don't really even know what happened.
So, because I got into work and immediately got hit with this. So I guess a kid brought an underage kid who's like 16, brought a gun to that situation, fired off a bunch of shots. Tank Dell was one of the people who got hit, one of the 10 people who got hit, but he was okay. Kind of got to move different when you're in Florida or Texas, just because people are really fucking gun happy right now. And that stupid ass Civil War movie came out, and
Which I actually want to see that.
I don't want to see it.
I also want to see Fall Guy, but the way they're pushing Fall Guy makes me kind of not want to not see it.
You don't want to see it because you're overexposed to Emily Blunt subconsciously.
I wanted to see it like 2 months ago when they were doing like early stuff. I was like, oh, that seems interesting.
Remember when she did a movie with Tom Cruise?
But now I've just been getting ads on Instagram, on Hulu. Like, I've just been getting so many ads. I'm like, yo, I just don't want to see this now.
Yeah. You're overexposed to Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt. It's the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know how we got on that subject.
When Emily Blunt was in that movie with Tom Cruise, same difference. He kept dying.
I don't watch Tom Cruise movies.
You didn't watch that movie? That was actually a good movie. But yeah, the topic in question.
Tank Dell.
Yeah, like I said, glad he's doing better. Glad he's doing safe. I did see a meme where somebody said that it was like a picture of a shooter, like when the dude who killed Ricky from Boys in the Hood, but it was a picture of Stephon Diggs. I'm like, that's fucked up. Even though Stephon Diggs is literally going to have to fight for catches now. Because Nico Collins had like 1,200 yards receiving. Tank Dell had like 1,000 or was on pace to have 1,000. And then they got a third receiver. And then you got Robert Woods. And then you got Stephon Diggs. So that's crazy, like how they're going to divvy up the pie in Houston. And will he get mad if he's not getting catches? I'd rather have yards than catches. Because if you get enough yardage, you don't need like 10 catches. If I get 5 catches for 100 yards, I don't need 10 catches for 120. That's just me, though. Less is more.
Next one.
Damn, y'all took Mike Trout out of here? Yeah, he said, fuck a bitch named Mike Trout. That's crazy.
Honestly, Pete probably just didn't want me to like have a mental breakdown over the Angels being terrible. I'm kind of glad he took it out.
Did you see what I put on the rundown? I said $18 tickets somehow become cheaper.
Yeah, that shit had me sick to my stomach.
You could have just saved that for your rant, but yeah.
Nah, fuck that. Go in. Go in.
No, I don't have a problem with the Angels at all.
You love their ticket prices.
Yeah, I mean, I went to the Red Sox game, I don't know, like last month, and then the seats cost me $18, and I was on fucking the 100 deck. It was nice.
I'm so glad I'm not an Angels fan anymore, but I do love their ballpark and atmosphere.
Anyway, okay, bandwagon fan. Moving on. Chargers signed DJ Clark. Take your tangent.
DJ Chark.
I'll say the same thing I said off air. I didn't know DJ Chark was still a thing. Like, I didn't know that was a thing to talk about, but
he's perfect for that offense.
Just hope he makes the team.
He's a deep threat. He'll make the team. He's not losing out to Josh Palmer, who's the Kyle Williams of that offense. If you remember Kyle Williams of Arizona State, who played on those those San Francisco 49ers teams that made it to the Super Bowl, or the one that made it to the Super Bowl, he was like a kick returner and a slot receiver, and that's pretty much what Josh Palmer is going to end up being if he doesn't actually get better as a receiver. But you got him, Jalen Guyton, Lad McConkey. I keep saying his name wrong. Brendan Rice, and yeah, they got a lot of guys fighting for receiver spots. So I'm not really surprised. Like, they're really gonna take like Justin Herbert forcing it out of this offense. You're not gonna see Justin Herbert forcing shit downfield anymore. It's gonna be he might have a career year, especially with Joe Alt at right tackle, and like a bunch of guys got their 5th-year options picked up. Like, the Chargers are an outstanding spot. But they're the Chargers, so we never know.
All right, last one.
Did y'all hear, this is random, but did y'all hear about the Steelers saying something about making Justin Fields a kick returner?
Yeah, that should be on here. I don't know why it's not on here, but yeah.
Oh, that's because of the new rules. Because the running back Jaylen Warren said technically you could just have Justin Fields right there, and he could literally just pitch it to somebody, and you can't do anything about it. Like, they're already thinking about ways to circumvent the rules. Like, they're already thinking of a way to hot dog that new kick return rule, and I love it. Because if I see
They're
like
pulling a Las Vegas Golden Knights.
practically.
If you watch hockey, I don't know. Maybe you didn't get the reference.
No, I did get the reference. So I was like, damn, that was people of culture we meet once again.
That's right. Watch another sports.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
It's very obvious that that's not going to happen. That's why I didn't put it on, because it was like saying like, oh, they did talk about it, but it just sounds ridiculous.
It would just be hilarious if they actually tried that shit and it worked in a game. How mad would you be? If your team lost, that'd be awesome. Like, what if they did that with Joe Milton and they won a game that way? Like on a kick return. Like he throws it across the field to the Baylor receiver, Tyquan Thornton.
That would just be so ridiculous that I couldn't even.
Who runs a 4.29 or some shit like that, or 4.26 or 7. He just takes one to the house.
That's like Miami Miracle level of Suicide Watch.
Yeah, that was. Shout out to Kenyon Drake.
Yeah, dude, I that was a hard week.
Why the fuck did you put Gronk?
Closing out Taker Tangent, Aiden O'Connell changed his number from 4 to 12. Gas.
Yeah, a bunch of Raiders changed their numbers. Amir Abdullah went from 22 to 8.
Why is he on the fucking roster?
Someone else changed
Why is he given 8? No. Why is he being given 8? Why is he on the roster?
He wore that in college.
I don't give a fuck. That was 15 years ago.
Mooring's wearing number 7 now, which is disgusting.
Hey, you know what?
Zamir Wyatt is wearing number 3.
You're not Michael Huff. You ain't earned the right to wear 7.
Disgusting.
Nah, that's his college number. You can have that. Abdullah wearing 8 is disgusting.
All of those are disgusting, frankly.
Why is Abdullah on the roster?
Aiden O'Connell wearing 12 is the least disgusting of those.
That's typical of a guy who looks like Favre, though. Fuck 12. That's what the Kansas City Chiefs think when they see him. And 4 is probably a cursed number, let's be honest. 4 is probably a cursed number on the Raiders.
Derek Carr cursed it?
I was really about to say that. Would you rather?
With mediocrity. You got to get Ford a receiver right now. So they can kind of like replenish it.
Hold on. Trying to find the touchdown or turnover sound.
I'm just really disturbed. Found out he's talking to Tom Brady.
Go ahead, Nikki.
Something like that. Touchdown or turnover? Rodger Goodell is pushing for an 18-game season, and he apparently hates the preseason and wishes they would cut it out of the league.
I do not disagree with Rodger Goodell for once. I think they probably should get rid of the preseason because, one, these fucking inter-practice scrimmages are way more intense than the actual preseason game.
And the fights.
2, man, a lot of these teams aren't even playing their starters at all in the preseason, maybe 1 or 2 games. 3, they cost the same amount as far as season tickets as the regular season, except for they resell at like half the price. 5, the games don't even sell out, like half crowd, which kind of dilutes the product. Even if you're somebody who just goes on a budget ticket, you're getting a budget experience, and that's not really ideal because that might be your first and only time at an NFL game, and the NFL shouldn't be in the business of just letting these people go to those games. If anything, you want a budget fucking great football experience, go watch a college game or go to one of these other leagues. But we don't need preseason to fill that void. So, yeah, I'm with it. Fucking get rid of the preseason. Don't get me wrong. I was all for the traditional schedule, the wrap up to the third game, and the fourth game is kind of whatever. But now that they got rid of that fourth game, the schedule is just completely gone. The Rams winning the Super Bowl after not doing anything in the preseason didn't help. So, yeah, the preseason is basically pointless.
For the sake of argument, I'm just going to...
And fuck the 18th game. How about you either add another bye week or how about you add another round of the playoffs?
You just want more fucking excuses for your fantasy team at the end of the year.
16 team.
You want more excuses
I want a 16
for
team
your
playoff.
fantasy football.
I want an 18 playoff.
You're tired of controversy at the end of the fantasy football season.
Playoff.
Yes or no? Are you tired of controversy? Because it only hits you. Like the past 3 years, you've had like all the fucked up shit happen to you in fantasy football the last 3 weeks of the season. It's like, I feel like that's why you want to get rid of the preseason.
Nah, I just don't like bye week in general, especially for fantasy. I think a bye week in fantasy is fucking stupid, but
I still think that's stupid, personally.
Started.
I still think that's stupid. You should just be allowed to like put those players on reserve for a week. Like, and with the way the injury mill is, you can just drop guys and pick them back up. I'm glad we're not like in a protected player league because that's stupid. It's fucking stupid. Like, what are we protecting players from? Like, that's not even your team. Like, you're just getting random people. Whatever.
All right, next one.
I would say you have to have at least one preseason game because of the Hall of Fame game. So you need at least one. It's really fair to have two. We don't live in the era of where you need 4 preseason games anymore because, hell, they're not even broadcasting these. Hell, you could barely see Raiders games on Channel 5. Like, let's just be real. Keep it to 2 games. The Hall of Fame game and then like 2 other games. So just, but yeah, I could see them cutting out the preseason altogether.
Next.
Would they try to like televise and like say make money off of these inter-scrimmage games to compensate?
No.
That's a good idea.
You would have to buy the NFL Plus package to get, you could watch a whole team's practice. That's what they would make you do. They would make you buy more of NFL Plus.
Right. So that's what I'm saying.
Teams are actually going to do that.
Not to necessarily compensate for the fan experience because they don't give a shit about them. I'm talking about compensate for their money loss.
But also because they have Hard Knocks during the season now, so you don't really need preseason. You can just watch Hard Knocks. You can just save your money and go to a real regular season game, and you watch Hard Knocks, so you're paying attention to like.
A lot of the practices are free. I like that because that at least allows kids to go check out their favorite teams.
Yeah,
interact with the players. Like, that's paying it forward. So I think that should stay the same. And I think if you get into
that's all you need.
If you get into making that a premium experience, I think it's hard to make that for free. Like, if you're charging people to watch it on TV, it's hard to just let people go for free.
Yeah,
I think they should just not televise it and just keep it for the fans that are actually willing to stop what they're doing and go out there and interact and participate with their team. All right, next one.
Next up, the Raiders signed Michael Gallup to a 1-year, $3 million deal.
This is a fucking turnover. 1, the Raiders didn't need another receiver. 2, the Raiders passed on a bunch of receivers in the draft. 3, Michael Gallup's coming off an injury. 4, the Raiders don't need any more 8-yard targets. And 5, the Raiders traded Derek dump off Carr a year ago. So I don't know why they keep getting dump off targets.
Yeah, Brock Bowers is going to be getting all the targets anyway and running all the routes that would really go to Hunter Renfrow and Gallup. So Gallup is just there just in case you need another receiver if Jacoby Myers goes down. But honestly, you would have been better off taking Tyler Boyd because he plays winning football. He's actually had a 1,000-yard receiving season before as the number one option on the Bengals before Jamar Chase got there. And ipso facto, he runs routes better than almost everybody but Devontae. And he would have been cheap. Myers has no problem being a number 2 because he's getting paid what he's getting paid. And we see, Myers is not a number 2. He's just solid number 3. Myers is an overachieving number 3. Tyler Boyd is an actual number 2 receiver. Gallup is just injury prone and could probably not even make a roster spot over Trey Tucker. So what are we really doing? If you took Trey Tucker and thought he could develop as a receiver, why do you take Michael Gallup? And you're giving him a $3 million deal. Even if that's not fully guaranteed, why are you giving Michael Gallup that? He hasn't been the same receiver since he tore his ACL 3 years ago. I'd rather trade for Brandon Cooks.
Next. Sorry, my mic's acting up.
No comment from Pete.
Didn't I talk?
Pete went first.
Yeah, I went first.
Oh, damn. My bad. I guess it was just forgettable.
Fuck me.
Yeah, just like Michael Gallup.
I'm kidding. All right. Travis Kelce becomes the highest paid tight end ever with his new deal. Yay.
Yeah, the last 2 years of his deal. Even this might be the last 2 years of his career if he chooses to hang it up. And honestly, with what they got in Xavier Worthy and Hollywood Brown and Rashee Rice, shit, this offense could go right back to fast break football. This offense doesn't necessarily need Travis Kelce as much anymore. You got Pacheco and 3 receivers who can all catch the football. Hollywood Brown can catch the football. He can get open. He runs a 4.27.
Oh, yeah.
Xavier Worthy from Cali, 4.21, can catch the ball and get open. Rashee Rice can evade detection and, just stop there because I think you get the joke.
I mean, I don't know. I guess it's a touchdown, right? He just won back-to-back Super Bowls.
He got a $6 million raise.
He's been their most reliable target. You weren't going to let him go. On top of all the added value he's bringing as an influencer and being Taylor Swift's boyfriend, so that $6 million is going to come back around, and it's a great PR move considering they don't even know if they're going to be staying in Kansas City much longer. So,
and honestly, he's not better than Gronk. Respectfully, we got to cool that shit out. Gronk is a one of a kind. He's Earl Campbell at tight end. Let's fucking relax here. You need to relax. I get it. Travis Kelce's pretty much been a receiver his whole career, but let's not. I get he has now he has better numbers than Gronk, but he don't have I think their Super Bowls are about even, and he has more Pro Bowls. But Gronk never was really allowed to be the complete number one option. But let's kind of relax here. Gronk on the Chiefs.
Let's turn it down, Turbo.
It's unstoppable.
That's my goat for real.
Prime Gronk on the Chiefs and Travis Kelce on the Patriots. Now he is better than Jules. I'll give you that. He's 1,000 times better than Jules.
Now, see, what the fuck did you do to start catching strays for no reason? Damn, you be hating that man for no reason.
Everybody catching strays this week.
He's not even a fucking tight end.
Exactly, and he's not better than Travis Kelce. I mean, Kels.
All right, let's keep it moving.
No, his name's Kels. Now I'm mad that like everybody got
it's
me saying his name
It's
correctly.
100% Kelce.
Now it's
Anyway.
Kelce. So
No,
we
it's
switch.
100% Kelce.
It's switch.
Anyway,
No, the
No,
dad said it's Kels.
Yeah, he said it's Kels. Like, why are you trolling me right now?
It's Kels. They said it was Kels.
You told me it was
Cap.
Kels, Nikki. You said it first.
no, it's Cap. It's Kelce.
I took your word, and then the dad came out and
my
said,
word
"I saw."
is Kelce. It's Kelce. I promise. Promise.
Because
All
if
right.
you say the name wrong during a fantasy draft, you can't pick him.
You're wrong, Nikki. Just so you know.
She trolling
It's
me. It's
Kelce.
okay. It's because I threw a Julian Edelman line out there.
No, because I thought it was Kels. I thought it was Kels, but it's Kelce. 100% it's Kelce.
This is why I have trust issues.
Man, I'll look it up during one of y'all's rants. Anyway, Pats extend Barmore to a 4-year, $92 million deal. Wow.
I like the deal. I mean, I feel like they've let defensive linemen go over the past few years after they had good years. So I feel like this is a sign of a new culture for the Patriots. They're actually paying their guys when they perform. So I'd say it's a touchdown. At least just from that perspective.
He's low key the linchpin of y'all defense, so that's just brilliant. Like, boy, there's not another Nick Saban. I'll tell you that. He knows how to get marginal Alabama defensive linemen really fat contracts. So salute to Christian Barmore, and salute to the Patriots for actually making the right choice. Can't believe those words came out of my mouth.
And I dropped the video where he said everyone's pronouncing it wrong on the chat.
What'd you say?
I dropped the video where he says everyone's pronouncing his last name wrong in the chat.
Because I gave you a bunch of shit about it, and you're like, no, it's pronounced Kels.
All right, next one.
Wait. You were trying to get me to cut. Hold on. It says, according to their father, Ed Kelce, it's pronounced one syllable Kels. However, tired of correcting people over the years, he let wife Donna Kelce and sons, as well as the rest of the world, say it with 2 syllables, Kelce. So you're trying to tell me that Donna Kelce and Ed Kelce are fighting over how it is actually pronounced?
That's
The
because
husband
it's
and wife-
it's his family name. She took
Pretty much
his
she
last name when they
gentrified
got
his
married.
name and he just accepted it.
It's like
But
Vieira
he's
Gosa.
like, nah, this is actually how you say it.
Yeah, this is
He
how you
said
pronounce
that
my
his-
fucking
he
lineage's
said that
name.
he said that it's been pronounced Kelce since before the boys were born. So it's Kels, apparently, technically, but his wife
He never corrected anybody.
wonked his own last name and changed it and said, you pronounce your name stupid, therefore it's Kelce now. And then he was like, yes, dear.
I mean,
That's crazy.
Smart man.
Not every battle is worth winning.
That's wild. Okay, anyway. Cowboys, I know Pete's been shaking at this one. Cowboys decide to bring Zeke back for a victory lap, I guess.
They still owe him $6 million. That's crazy. They still owe that man $6 million. They brought him back. Didn't take a running back in the draft. And they still owe him $6 million on top of the deal they agreed to. That's hilarious. Yo, when Dak ends up a Raider next year, Nikki has to become a Raiders fan. That's going to be funny.
I said it before, and I'll say it again.
I'll trade Devontae and 3 first-round picks for CD Lamb.
Who said I was a Dak truther?
You're a Dak truther.
I said it before,
No, I'm not.
and I'll say it again. If he gets 1,100 yards this season,
He's not in the Hall of Fame.
he's going to the Hall of Fame.
Derrick Henry's getting him
If
before
he
him.
passes 10,000 rushing yards and has his 5th 1,000-yard rushing season in 8 years, and mind you, those 3 years that weren't 1,000 were like in the high 900s.
985.
He's a Hall of Famer.
So what if it's
Especially in the
what if it's 3.2 yards a
decade
carry?
of the dead running back.
What if it's 3.2 yards a carry?
Then he's getting a shit ton of carries.
Do you respect that?
Yeah, of course. You have to.
Do you though?
You have to.
Do you respect
Especially-
3.2 yards a carry?
But honestly, I don't think he will because he's going to get much better looks now that they won't be only giving fucking Tony Pollard the Madden on fucking rookie mode, and then make him go in there on fucking all pro.
Well, that's why they have Vaughn.
So I think it's
Royce Freeman.
Come on, dog. Royce Freeman.
They're giving Royce Freeman outside. They're giving Royce Freeman sweeps. You want to bet?
Stop.
All-time Oregon leading rusher. You want to bet? We can bet.
Stop.
You can bet on that. Zeke getting all the hard yards, buddy.
Either way, does
Guyton play? Does Guyton play left tackle?
Either way, I think it makes sense for both parties. Why not run it back?
Because I think Guyton should just play left tackle.
He's only the third all-time leading rusher behind 2 Hall of Famers and 2 of the greatest players.
Herschel Walker
lace him up.
and Emmitt Smith?
Tony Dorsett, sir. That's really disrespectful.
I just wanted to know if you were going to say Herschel Walker's name.
Herschel Walker is a college football great, not an NFL great.
Damn, we doing it like that?
Damn.
He got traded for like 7 picks. He got traded for a Hall of Fame team.
Whatever. All right.
I'm just saying, if I'm on the tail,
Let's
if I'm on the tail end of a trade,
let's speed through these next ones.
You can't say I suck. If you got Michael Irvin out that fucking trade, you can't say I suck.
I asked Will what he thought about Zeke coming back to the Cowboys.
He cried, didn't he?
He said, I like it because the Cowboys needed another center.
Yeah. He can pass block his ass off. But that's why it's a Cooper Reeby. They should just use Zeke like an H-back this year, honestly.
All right. That was way less painful than I thought it was going to be.
CD and all the catches.
Saints are signing Will Harris.
Some random ass DB. It's much ado about nothing. Literally. Like, I know who the player is. It's literally. We could have not.
Wasn't he with the Saints too? Before?
I got the work email and I said, why? This better not be a fucking headline. This is a headline. It's a slow news day.
All right. Next one.
I mean, it's been on like 8 teams.
Jags cut Zay Jones.
Another one kid he doesn't care about.
Thank you for saying it so I didn't have to be mean.
I think Zay Jones, I was more interested in Zay Jones getting signed than Michael Gallup.
You only give this another 28 seconds, please.
Yeah, I would have rather signed Zay Jones than Michael Gallup, but whatever. He had a good year 2 years ago.
17 seconds. He
has a good year every other year, so he might have a good year this year.
6 seconds.
He'll probably go to the Panthers.
All right, that's enough. Moving on.
Damn, bro's getting time. That's crazy. All right,
especially from the guy who literally is a time suck. That's fucking quadruple crazy.
There's too many fucking Joneses in the world for me to care about.
Real.
I don't care about Zay.
Honestly, so real. That's really fair. All right, Jets trade John Franklin.
That's a win for both sides. He's going to Denver. He's going to get some looks, rushing the passer, and the Jets have way too many edge rushers. If we're being frank about it, like they're loaded up. Elijah Vera Tucker.
Frank Wayne about it.
To be frank about it. I'm just saying, like, it's, I'm gonna admire my own business, but shout out to the Jets for getting some of that. So we're just gonna pretend like I didn't just cook with that last one. All right, cool. Shout out to Elijah Vera Tucker getting his 5th year option picked up. Former Bishop O'Dowd, town business. Former USC player, Oakland native, Bay Area native. The Bishop O'Dowd had actually stayed in Oakland if, like, they didn't let me into McClymonds. That's the crazy part. Like, McClymonds and Bishop O'Dowd got mad beef. Kirk Morrison actually went to Bishop O'Dowd High School, and me and him share the same birthday.
Did I tell y'all that I'm flying into Oakland next weekend?
Nice. Go to Nations. RIP to that In-N-Out that got destroyed because they're trying to destroy the city. But definitely go to San Leandro. If you have time, go to San Leandro and go to Nations and get you a burger, a shake, some pie, and a T-shirt. You will not regret it. And
I'm going to San Francisco for my birthday weekend. So.
Oh, shit. Your birthday weekend, too? That's lit.
My birthday is May 14th.
What? Are you fucking serious? My mother's birthday is May 15th.
Damn.
Oh,
She sounds like a bad bitch.
I'm telling you, she's listening. She probably gonna text me. And y'all,
what?
Oh shit! All three of you are Tauruses too.
Sounds like a lovely woman.
It makes sense. That's why all y'all got along. You're all musty ass Tauruses. Well, mostly Pete.
Man, fuck you.
Just Pete. Just Pete. I didn't say you.
Right. You said it to your mama too. That's crazy. You just called your mama musty, bro.
Nah.
And that shit's on record.
I didn't. I technically just placed all the blame on Pete.
All right, last one.
He called you musty, bro.
I didn't.
All right, anyway.
Sorry, I'm just cooking up parlays.
See?
Eagle.
He's over there being musty, cooking up parlays, sweating through parlays. Imagine sweating and getting funky because you like made 100 parlays in 30 minutes.
Bro, am I gonna have to set up an intervention with?
He's gonna have carpal tunnel, yo.
Something like that.
He's getting carpal tunnel.
If fucking James Harden and Kyrie Irving fuck me again,
he's gonna get reading glasses just to
how
lose
are you
on his parlay.
Wait, well, how did Kyrie fuck you over?
He was a fucking promo too. He was at 21 and a half.
Why would you believe that?
And what did he get?
I think he just got 20. He just got 21 or 22.
That's because Lucas scored 35.
He just missed it.
That sucks.
But James Harden was discounted at 17. He didn't even get fucking close.
Let's talk about Terrence Mann, shall we?
Dude, because it was Terrence Mann and fucking...
Kyrie had 14. Kyrie had 14.
Zoo went crazy, bro. Zoo put the team on his back.
Yeah, he's been kind of doing that.
They got to just rebuild the team around Zubac.
But then he runs out of energy. Like the 2 games ago, he was balling in the first half. In the second half, he didn't do shit.
So he's Andrew Bynum before he popped his knee again?
He's just big as shit,
Terrence
bro.
Mann went off too, dude. It was just them two playing. It felt like it was literally just them two guys playing.
Hey, Nikki, how you going to feel when the Mavericks signed Terrence Mann to a 4-year, $85 million
they don't even
contract?
have a cap like that, sir. Just keep your basketball takes to yourself. Fan.
You realize that Mark Cuban doesn't give a fuck, right?
You realize Mark Cuban isn't even in charge anymore.
Mark Cuban stepped down from the team.
Yeah, this is what we were talking about. Let's keep your basketball takes to yourself.
You're just mad because Terrence Mann's going to get a fat contract and you're scared the Clippers might pay him.
All right, can we just do the last one so we can move on?
Cool, but Grayson Allen got $70 million, so let's not act like trash players don't get paid.
The Eagles signed Becton.
Oh, this is a touchdown.
Another thing to break my heart.
They love big-ass tackles, and they got one.
He was the 11th overall pick.
He's played both left tackle and right tackle over the years. Last year, he was actually healthy. He played 15 games, despite only playing like fucking 10 games between the 2 years before that.
They had some holding calls, and there's some issues, but also the QB play was terrible. So you can't really blame it all on him for the sacks he gave up. But he's literally going to be behind a Hall of Fame a Hall of Fame right tackle, and one of the best left tackles in football, one of the best coached offensive lines in football. So they could just keep him. Lane Johnson ends up retiring, and Mekhi Becton just becomes a fucking all-pro after becoming a bust when the Raiders could have just signed him and then not taken a fucking guard who's going to play tackle in the 3rd round. I hate it here. I truly hate it here.
They're a fade.
The Raiders for their horrible draft choices. Just fade.
First off, Ryan Garcia, he got popped for a dirty drug test before he beat the shit out of
Devin Haney.
He
got popped for the pre-fight and after the fight.
And then he went and said, "Oh, I won fair and square." Okay, bro.
And then he said, then they tried to like shit on a female boxer who actually.
So is it fair or fade?
It's definitely a fade. Because here's the thing. Floyd Mayweather told Ryan Garcia to purposely come in overweight to miss weight. They really just wanted to put a loss on his record, which they did. And then this motherfucker cheated, but he won, so nobody's going to care that he cheated to win. That's why Bill Haney don't fuck with the Mayweathers, and a lot of young boxers don't like the Mayweather in particular because they think he's a fraud. And he tries to put his finger on everybody. And allegedly Tank fucked Floyd Mayweather's daughter. Allegedly.
The singer?
I hope so, bro.
No, like Tank Gervonta Davis.
Floyd Mayweather, bro.
Fucked Mayweather's daughter. And that's why they don't really they don't fuck with each other no more. Allegedly. And Tank didn't say no. What'd you say, Nikki?
I said, fuck Floyd Mayweather. All my homies hate Floyd Mayweather. Period.
None of your homies can beat Floyd Mayweather in a fight, though.
Yo, fuck Floyd Mayweather for real, bro. I hate that motherfucker.
I mean, I'm not going to fault you because there's reasons to hate him.
He's literally like...
There's phonic reasons why you should hate him. I mean, he spells about the same paces. He spells about the same as Pete, but he definitely hasn't beat.
Y'all ever seen the 50 Cent Ice Bucket Challenge thing?
Yes, yeah. That's fucking hilarious. 50 Cent's a troll.
I'm gonna say it's a
god tier troll.
I'm gonna say it's a fade only because I don't give a fuck what you take. Dog, he didn't take fucking vibranium. Whatever the fuck he got tested positive for. It's not
for ass whooping.
It's not going to make you fucking kill a guy, bro. He literally knocked him out 5 times, and he could have knocked him down a cool like 9.
His strategy was terrible. He got his ass
even without that fucking supplement, you got to figure out he at least knocks him down 1 to 3 times.
And he said, if I tested positive, I'm definitely gay. And he says he's not gay, but he also said he was forced to watch little kids get molested.
He says crazy shit because he's from Victorville. And that's just what fucking crazy ass Victorville people say.
He just leans into saying bullshit he know isn't true, but like you can't prove that he's not crazy. It's the Nate Diaz, what they used to do too, the Diaz brothers. Them motherfuckers are crazy.
All right, Mike Tyson being an underdog against Jake Paul, fair or fade?
I don't believe in anything anymore, so I don't really care. I'm not gonna watch that bullshit. I wouldn't put no money here.
Who the fuck is betting on that fight? That's what I want. I'm not betting on that fight.
You're going to bet. You're a fucking liar.
I'm not going to bet on that fight.
Let me see your app.
I'm not going to bet on that fight.
Let me see Prize Picks.
I'm literally not betting on that
You're
fight.
Bet.
I'll bet you that I won't bet on that fight.
That's betting on the fight.
I'll bet that I won't bet on the fight.
That's betting on the fight.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. You're betting that you won't bet on the fight.
You get some help.
I'm just saying.
We're worried about you. This is an intervention.
Let's put up food that I won't bet on the fight.
That's still betting.
No, it's not.
And I get paid at midnight. Is it a gentleman's wager?
You still get that same rush, bro.
Whatever. Anyways, yeah. I think it's fucked up. I don't know who's betting on that fight because I still don't even know if that whole Jake Paul boxing random people shit is even legit.
It's not legit. We've already been over it. It's not fucking legit. He won't fight any real fighter his age. He won't fucking fight. He hasn't been in like 100
Mike Tyson
fights.
is old, bro, but he could still fight.
Mike Tyson could still kill you with a punch.
But also, he's taking a lot of punches, so who knows?
Okay, go fucking walk up on Mike Tyson.
I'm not walking up on Mike Tyson.
I bet you won't walk up on Mike Tyson.
Yeah, you're right. I won't.
I won't either, but I ain't backing down.
Raiders fired their head of scouting since 2022. He came over with Dave Ziegler, fair fade.
Keith Kidd, it was about due. He got red weddinged. I think if you take I think there's no way I don't know if Telesco really wanted Brock Bowers, but there's no fucking way I'm taking
Tell
Brock
me
Bowers.
A draft pick he's made in the past 2 years that would have saved his job. That's probably what they told him when they brought him into the interview.
What's one draft pick?
What's one draft pick that you feel like you really knocked out of the park?
Well, the one I wanted, they didn't take.
Jacorian Bennett?
Yeah.
Who was hurt half of last year?
But he could still play.
Who else?
Tyree Wilson.
I don't even remember who the 2022 draft was. That's how bad it was.
Exactly.
Who was even in the 22? Well, that was the year they traded for Devontae, so they didn't even have top picks.
Yeah.
What, Parham? Parham, right?
Parham was like their first pick, I think.
Yeah. Which,
Mumford was a 7th rounder from last year.
Again, another
How the fuck you say how you say Mumford is our guy at tackle, and then you take a fucking tackle who's 6'4", but you're saying you're going to put him at guard. You have 3 centers playing guard. I hate it here, bro. Like, I genuinely hate it here. Like, I fucking hate it here. Other than, like, my family, my friends, and, like, work life, like, I fucking hate it here, bro. Like, if Thanos could, like, fucking snap out the stupidity of the Raiders, I would do it. If that's my villain origin story, like, I'm okay with that. Clearly a fade.
Hold on, I'm still trying to look at this 22. Yeah, it's Parham, Zamir White, Farrell Jr. not with the team anymore. Matthew Butler barely on the team.
He's been cut 6 times.
Munford.
And Sons.
Yeah, so pretty much You just show them your draft picks.
A nothing burger draft.
All right, and finally, fair or fade, the Kendrick
I took
diss.
Nate Hobbs.
The Kendrick diss, Euphoria, fair or fade?
It's a fade because multiple conversations are being had. People who realize, okay, this is Drake started this shit. He wanted this, and Kendrick gave him nothing but smoke, and he told him truth. Because let's be honest, Drake only leans on his blackness to like have some kind of quote unquote street credit because he signed a baby and he signed to Rap Lot Records. When Kanye I was watching the Kanye documentary and literally like fucking Kanye had to sit there and read off a statement before they did the Larry Hoover shit. Like, let's not act like all these black dudes in hip hop actually ever fuck with Drake because they know Drake isn't a rapper. He's an act. Like Drake should get an Oscar because he's such an amazing actor. Like he acts like he's black, but he literally has said that he went to a fucking Jewish school. He never tasted poverty. He lived in the suburbs. Never fucking knew a hard day's anything. Never really had the black experience because he was always shrouded in working as a fucking child star and having money. And then he went straight into making music. And then he got fucking linked up with street dudes like Jay Prince Jr., Jay Prince's son found him. And then you got Baby. And then even Lil Wayne is talking about like, rap about girls. Don't rap about the shit that I rap about. Don't think because you hanging with Wayne that you could rap like Wayne now. But Wayne, knowing he was going to prison and other things, he decided to co-sign Drake. And really, that's the only reason why we still fuck with Drake. Because if Wayne refused to co-sign Drake and called him what Kendrick called him, I guarantee you music will be totally different. It will be totally different from how we digest it, the people who we like and don't like. But it's a lot that goes behind the scenes, but it's all just one big fade because Kendrick washed him on that song. People are still coming up, still realizing that Kendrick was making double entendres when he made the joke about a six-pack. He talked about a drug or a disorder that dysmorphed Drake's abdomen. That's why Rick Ross, when he talked about him wearing that stupid-ass dinosaur get-up on stage, is because he got a fucking 25% body pat with a weird six-pack. And, like, when you get the little fat sucked out of you, it created new fat cells in your body, so you have to get those fat cells removed. So pretty much he fucked up his midsection trying to get plastic surgery. And, like, there's just a lot of quotables. All he really said about Kendrick was, like, got short feet, and he keeps bringing up Drake. Drake loves bringing up women, which is really interesting. Like, Drake couldn't resist bringing up Kendrick's wife. Oh, she's biracial too. Yeah, but she never, like, pretended to be black. And she has, like, black family and lineage. But, like, Drake only acts black around niggas. Let's just be real. When he gets around everybody else, he turns on that white card. And then he fucking texted his mom and called Rick Ross racist. That's exactly what biracials usually do. They play both ends against the middle, even though their white side of the family will never fuck with them. You know, that's some self-hate you got to get out your heart. But it was bars. It's cultural. It's, hey, your identity actually isn't a black man. You're just fucking cosplaying as one for the culture, and you're the most popular act. But even then, you're not even the most popular act. Bad Bunny fucking outsells you. Taylor outsells you. Beyonce outsells you. So really, you just try to hold on to this, I'm a fucking thug, I'm a tough guy, and I'm the most popular rapper in the game, when real street dudes know you're not, and you still ain't said anything back to Pusha T. And the people who've been extorting you your whole career literally speak up for you to get you out of beefs. But hey, this is going to get nasty before it gets worse. We owe J. Cole an apology. And J. Cole,
why do we owe J. Cole an apology?
Because he got out at the right time.
Nah, fuck that.
You shouldn't have rescinded it. You should have said, that. Oh, I didn't realize these two motherfuckers really hate each other. I'm cool. I'm chilling. I'm going to go ride a bike. I'm going to go find Frank Ocean or some shit. Because nobody can find Frank Ocean.
I'm gonna come at it from this point of view. The song itself was fair because one, Drake fucking dropped 2 diss songs and he used fucking AI for one of them, and he used 2 West Coast GOAT AIs.
One dead, by the way, who didn't fuck with him.
2 basically of Kendrick's biggest influences. He tried to use them against him in a corny Gen Z fucking TikTok kind of way. So Kendrick basically coming at him for 7 minutes, just completely decimating his character, going at everything from how he moves as a father to how he moves as a musician. I feel like all that is fair. And the fact that they say the real version is like 16 minutes long.
19 minutes.
And he only dropped basically a third of the song.
A throwaway.
Kenny, shut up. You talk. Nobody talk during you talk.
You getting
I don't need you right now. Take off. Thank you.
Hey, first off,
R.I.P.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, I
not
don't need
Chris
the
Brown.
ad-libs
Don't
right
get
now.
disrespectful.
I don't need the ad-libs right now.
Don't get disrespectful, Quavo.
Thank you. The point is, I don't even remember what fucking point I am now because you're just fucking talking. Fuck.
We're saying how Kendrick made a point, and then you were gonna come in with your real point.
All right, cool. So yeah, Drake. So everything Kendrick said was fair from that point of view. Now, I'm gonna give the round to Kendrick just because lyrically he was far superior than Drake. The diss was well made, well written, well mastered, etc. People are kind of slandering it because it took 2.5 weeks to come out, but this is a man who takes 30 weeks to fucking 3 years to produce anything. So I'll let him cook at his own pace.
Drake took 22 days. Kendrick took 17.
Without hating.
For the record.
And I think that's also unfair to kind of compare it because Drake low-key got jumped. So it's like... And the leak came out like that next week, so it didn't really take that long. What do you mean, bro? He got fucking dissed by 5 different people.
They all hate him.
If 5 different people...
They've been dissing him.
If 5 different people hit you on the same day, that's not being jumped?
No.
That's not being jumped.
Metro Boomin's album came out with a Kendrick diss that Kendrick said was a fucking throwaway. That wasn't even supposed to be on there. That was just a throwaway. They just kept that.
First off, the shit you're saying ain't even true because Kendrick don't even talk. So you saying Kendrick said Kendrick don't talk. Yeah.
And then Metro
Hold on. Let me fucking talk, please, bro. Please. You've been talking over me this whole episode.
All right, fine, whatever.
Besides all that, fuck the camp, bro. No one even knows who Kendrick's camp is anymore. That's the whole fucking thing. No one even knows who we signed to anymore. So nobody knows who's influencing Kendrick. No one even knows who's working with Kendrick. So all the rumors and speculation going behind the scenes, like, I don't give a fuck about any of that. I'm talking about what's on wax. And I'm just saying everything Kendrick said was fair. He took the round because of that. What I will say, though, is in terms of all-time disses, this is not in the conversation for me because it doesn't really have the same kind of replay value or radio value or standalone value, single value, whatever you want to call it. Nobody's playing this in the club. Nobody's playing this in repeat. Like, this is a full-on diss. This is a fucking rap battle song. And I'm not taking anything away from Kendrick for that. Like I said, I think he won the round. But I'm not putting it in top 10 disses because all the other disses that you know and recall were played on the radio and could be played on the radio and could be played back. And that's part of the reason why they're so iconic. Not just because of what they were saying, but how many times you heard it.
It was disrespectful as fuck.
Yeah, and they still played that shit on the radio.
That's a totally different time now.
They still played that shit on the radio.
By the way, Kendrick's song is the number one streamed hip-hop song of all time.
Because it had replay value.
Kendrick's song is the number one.
So the last thing I'm going to get to, and this is what I told you the other night off the air, is at the end of the day, these guys have 2 different niches, 2 different pockets, 2 different lanes, 2 different audiences. people that are listening to Kendrick don't be listening to Drake like that, and people that listen to Drake don't listen to Kendrick like that. So this whole beef is really just making those two audiences cross over. This is like the old WWF versus WCW. Like, at the end of the day, you're going to watch both when you were probably only watching one. And so both sides are really going to win because both sides are going to run up their numbers. Both sides are going to run up their tour. Both sides are going to run up the merch. So, yeah, war is always good business, unfortunately. And I think that's what this really all is. It's not a fair or a fade. It's really just some fucking theater for keeping it a bean. It's just Kendrick's much better at this segment of theater than Drake is. And that is what it is. But realistically, anyone who fucks with Drake is not going to say Kendrick won. And anyone who fucks with Kendrick is not going to say Drake won because they value two different things in terms of their ear, in terms of the people they look up to and support. And so, yeah, it just...
And Black American culture doesn't really fuck with Drake like that because he's not even from here. It's usually the black immigrants and shit who come here talking shit about black people.
But that's the thing.
Won't go back to your slummy ass country, but you'll say Drake is this and that. It's like in Toronto, yeah, but not in fucking America. Like,
but see, even that to me is some weird shit because nobody's listening to Drake because they think he's fucking hard, bro. Nobody's listening to Drake because they think he's a fucking gangster, bro.
Canadians are out of pocket, bro.
Nobody's listening to Drake for that.
Yes, they are.
People are listening to Drake because they want a TikTok, they want to fucking sing along, they want to dance in the club, they want to serenade their girls, they want something to fuck to. Like,
don't nobody go to the club anymore,
bro. Nobody cares about any of that other shit, bro.
Did you listen to Knife Talk?
Point is, the people that say Drake are hard are the people that already don't like Drake. But the people that like Drake, they're not listening to him for the tough Drake. Even with what you're saying, like even the songs that he has where he's trying to come tough, like nobody's listening to him for that.
Even Kendrick said, I like melody Drake, not this tough guy Drake, because this tough guy Drake doesn't exist.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying is there's this whole narrative.
He says it's just lightweight.
There's this whole narrative about Drake trying to be a fake tough guy. This dude comes out on stage with his biracial son wearing fucking rollers, bro. Don't sit here and tell me this guy's trying to be fucking tough. He's cosplaying a ghetto
black dude. His hair don't nap.
That's fine. You could say that.
He plays identity politics.
Sure, he does, and he takes people's
he's
sounds.
He's Jewish when he wants to be, and he's black when he wants to be.
And he takes people's clout, and I'll give you all that.
He hits on underage women.
And yeah, that too. But
Max McClung.
I don't think he tries to be tough. I think people put him into that box.
He tried to be tough with Pusha T and got put in his place. He still ain't responded to Terrence Thorne.
I don't even think he was really even trying to out tough.
He literally, that beef with Pusha T goes back like 15 years.
Bro, he brought Garcia on a fucking music video and a diss for Pusha T. You're telling me that's a guy who's trying to be fucking tough?
No, that's him.
That's a guy who knows his fucking audience.
His white fan base.
Yeah, his audience.
That's what I'm saying.
He's leading into his audience.
That's what he's doing by trolling Kendrick. But I'm saying, yeah, like you said, it's all just one Super Bowl halftime show. But like, the only winners here are Interscope and Lucian Grange. Because Kendrick still has ties to Interscope. And the game needs to shut the fuck up. Nobody wants to hear you rap. You're not even a top 15 LA rapper all time. We can go through the list. Game's barely 20.
All right, let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up. We're already coming up on 2 hours somehow.
Damn, really?
Yeah, because you fucking talk, bro. You haven't been this messy. Nikki jumps on, you just go back to your ways.
It was the rap beef and the Raiders picks. That really pissed me off. Me and Nikki been
You didn't even spend that long.
Boomer fucking Sumer, okay? Me and Nikki chill. By the way, Drake Stoops went to the Rams.
It's not even, I'm not even saying you and Nikki are beefing. I'm just saying
we're not beefing.
The rails. You go off the rails. You've been fucking chill the past 2 weeks.
I had a lot on my mind.
You're like fucking the Clippers when Kawhi plays.
I'm about to get paid.
You don't know what to do.
I'm a different person when I have money.
You don't know what to do.
I'm a different person when I have a lot of money in my pocket. That's why.
Fuck. All right. Rants. You want to go first or you want to go last, Nikki? You choose.
I think Nikki should close the show out.
I just said I'll let her choose.
I'll go first. I don't really have a lot to say. That was a lot of information I was taking in just now. So
just when you thought my point wasn't proven.
I don't really care a lot about all that y'all are talking about. I like both of those artists a lot, but for very different reasons. So,
did you at least hear me say Drake Stoops went to the Rams?
I did hear that.
Boomer fucking Sooner. Say it back.
Boomer Sooner, baby. I'm really happy for him. I'm glad. I can't believe he didn't get drafted, to be honest, but whatever. But yeah, I like both of those guys, but a lot, but for different reasons. And it's hard to see them like clash, I guess, or whatever. But I mean, like, about like who's a better rapper and all that stupid bullshit. Like, that's not besides the point. But like, I do think that like Kendrick kind of took something that was very light and made it a really big deal when it wasn't a big deal. But I don't know. What can you do? But anyway, I was sad in golf land. I was sad because I've been struggling as a Rory McIlroy fan for years, and I rarely get to see him win, and he's been disappointing me a lot lately. And then I go on my cruise, and the one weekend that I don't watch this guy, he goes and wins a golf tournament. So, congrats, Rory. But like, fuck you, fro for doing that to me. Like, I didn't get to watch 1 second of the tournament, and he decides to go and win it like the moment that I don't have service. So, thanks. But yeah, other than that, I don't really have anything to say. Besides, I'm married now. Raw.
Hey.
I'm a married woman.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'll just spend my time talking about my birthday. My birthday was Monday. I had a good weekend. Made it out to LA Pizza Fest. All you can eat pizza. All you can drink
oh my
drinks.
God, happy belated birthday. Why didn't you say anything?
Fuck his birthday.
What do you mean? Kenny always talks about how I'm a Taurus.
Yeah, he hates his birthday.
You've known me for over a year.
Okay. Taurus is like a month long of birthday.
Oh,
he's an April Taurus.
Dog, even Lucas texted me happy birthday. That's crazy.
Wait, your birthday's on April what? 29th?
Yeah.
Yo, Lucas texted you happy birthday?
Yeah, you did. Nah, I'm just kidding.
No,
I'm just kidding.
Ready to jump off my balcony right now?
Literally, just feet first.
Happy belated. What are you, like 40 now?
Yeah, I've been telling people I'm 35. I tell people I turned 35.
Parkour.
Real. All right, sorry, continue.
But yeah, so yeah, my birthday was this weekend. LA Pizza Fest was a hit. I recommend it. Best $100 I spent. The drinks, they were literally just pouring us like half a fucking solo cup of vodka. It was ridiculous. Like, it came to a point, like, I've never been to an open bar and been like, damn, I wish they just made regular drinks. Like, there was a point at the end of the day when I had like 4 fucking drinks left and like 3 pieces of pizza. I wanted to kill myself. Shout out to the dude who brought Ziploc bags, because they were trying to fucking knuckle up over taking pizza boxes out of there. So this dude brought a fucking Ziploc bag and was just bagging them up for his son, who was trying to be a little YouTuber and film him eating the pizzas. But yeah, outside of that, man, I mean, the Clippers and Raiders both put me on a fucking spiral this weekend. The Raiders somehow didn't walk away with the quarterback. The Clippers got fucking blown out in game 3. Worst game I've ever seen them play. Paul George, James Harden, and Kawhi all had like under fucking 20 points, which was ridiculous. Then game 4, they came back fucking swinging. They balled out. No Kawhi, which wasn't a surprise because he didn't look great. And then this last game happened, which might be the last fucking Clipper game at Crypto.com ever. Ended up being the worst playoff loss of all time. Again, Paul George and Harden both played bad. Fucked up my parlays. I would have won another $60 if James Harden would have just hit fucking 18 points, which he's been averaging. So, yeah, I got fucked by the Clippers, and it's not looking too great. They got to go win in Dallas, which is actually possible because the Clippers are actually one of the best road teams, and they've actually played well without Kawhi. So they got a chance, but ultimately in the series, I just don't know if they have enough gas. Unless James Harden and Paul George can play more like Kyrie and Luka Doncic. Because, high key, Kyrie's playing fucking championship basketball. And I hope this fucking series, if nothing else, if they end up eliminating my Clippers, I hope, if nothing else, this series changes the narrative on Kyrie. Because Kyrie is fucking locked in right now on both ends. Like, he's making smart basketball plays. He's doing what it needs to take, what it needs to fucking win. And I truly respect him for that. So, I mean, it sucks that we had to play them in the first round because, you know, Mavericks are a fun team to watch, but we'll see what happens these next two games. But yeah, it's been a long week for me, just for my birthday and the highs and lows of the Clippers and Raiders. Kenny?
Well, the time of the year where I have the most stress and have to deal with the most fucking babies and coddling, the month of May. Not just because my nephew was born on a Thursday, a podcast day, a holy day. 7th, if I'm not mistaken. May 27th. My mom's born May 15th.
My computer's going to die soon, so.
My mom's born May 15th, and Mother's Day is also coming up. And I have a lot of shit to do and a lot of plans I'm making. So, salute to all you Tauruses. Stop acting like you don't care about your feelings, because you do. So, when we acknowledge you and hold you up in the air and say, yay for you, don't get all self-loathing because you think it's cool. We see past that shit. We see y'all for what y'all are.
What?
We love you. We appreciate you. Salute to all the Tauruses out there, even the musty ones. Y'all got a good heart. You're just assholes. And thank you for being our anger translator, because if we get angry, people start dying. And lastly, yeah, Raiders fucked up the draft. USC's gonna have a really good secondary, but that pass rush, I don't know. I give them 6 wins this year. I gotta see more. But oh yeah, and I think Kendrick is winning. And the more that Drake results to like childish fucking memes when he's not a Gen Z, he's 40. He's not a Gen Z. I want to point that out. He is not a Gen Z. He's 40. For the people who are old enough who came up with Drake, the shit he's doing is really gross. It's like the dude who still comes around high schoolers who graduated 3 years ago. Drake is that guy. He does great. He's Ben Affleck's character in Dazed and Confused. Go back and watch it. Ben Affleck was in Dazed and Confused, yes. For all you history buffs out there, anybody who loves culture. So yeah, salute to everybody. Have a great night. I can't wait to get some fucking food because I'm starving.
TDs_tangents on Twitter and Instagram. Touchdownsattachments.com.
Salute Memphis Spence.
Shout out to your favorite podcast. Shout out to all our affiliates.
R.I.P. Jim's Burgers.
Shout out to Will.
Fuck gentrification in the South Bay. R.I.P. Jim's Burgers.
Shout out to Nikki's Cats. Shout out to my brother Philip.
Shout out to Oklahoma for constantly having really good pro prospects.
Shout out to Seasbury and Jacob. That's it.
Salute to LaMelo Ball. Hopefully he's a Clipper.
Peace.
Peace.
Hey, where's the button?